In the big Bilge Tank.
We'll keep you in the know.
In the big Bilge Tank.
We'll fix your techie woes and we'll break things and we'll make things till we're all together raking and
We'll
we'll
raise a cup of grog down in the big Bilge Tank. In the big Bilge Tank. Come and join our pirate crew. In the big Bilge Tank.
We will show you what to do.
and we'll hack it till we crack it and we'll tell the world about it and forget to tidy up.
That's why it's now a Bilge Tank.
Hello and welcome to Bilge Tank 119.
Ahoy!
Hello.
Paul's back from his travels and we've got special guest Matt Brailsford.
Special get.
Yes, yeah, so if you don't already know Matt, he is also known as Circuitbeard
Yes.
in various places.
Yeah.
Twitter,
I think you can probably guess why
the blog.
it's Circuitbeard. Yeah.
Yeah, and Tanya in the background on the chat.
Sometimes on his ears, so.
That's what we're doing this week.
Yeah, so Matt makes or has made an array of lovely little retro arcade
Arcades,
machines.
Yeah.
So it started with kind of like taking old kind of toy arcade machines and then kind of like
Yeah.
kind of
Spiraled massively out of control.
kind of
Yeah.
gutting them and putting various bits and bobs inside.
Kind of what I like to do. So
Yeah.
I like to take like retro, old, I guess reminiscent of my childhood in the 80s where everything was just like plastic and really big and bulky and things, which is ideal for these days because there's loads of space for like hacking them. But I get one of my kind of biggest things that I like to do is just take retro hardware and see what it might have been today if they had what we have like today. So this is kind of where some of these have come from. Yeah.
And then Nintendo started kind of copying your
Yeah.
idea with their
They just got
SNES,
jealous-
SNES
they just
minis
got
and
jealous,
NES Mini, yeah.
So all the
Yeah.
cool stuff I were doing, and then they came out with those
Yeah.
things.
So how many times have you been Hackaday now with these things?
I don't know.
It's been on the Verge as well. I
yeah.
didn't realise you'd been on the Verge.
Got quite a few. I was pretty
get
pleased with those.
Let's have
Yep.
that up. This was the first one you did, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is probably the first hack that I've done, which is the Spotify cassette player. It's so old that I didn't even have a blog then, so I get a lot of requests of how I did that, but that was pretty cool. So, like I say, taking old tech, reimagining it. So that was a cassette player. The cassettes had put NFC tags into the either side of the cassette, and when you put it in the cassette player and press play, it read the NFC tag and chose a Spotify playlist to play.
Yeah.
And you could flip the cassette over as well, so you had like two sides. So
Amazing. Just seen it's a Ferguson tape player.
yeah.
Don't think they exist anymore. They made
I don't think
TVs
so.
as well,
Yeah,
didn't they?
yeah,
I remember
yeah.
they made
I remember
the
those as a kid.
yeah,
We
the
had Ferguson TVs,
big TV,
really big brown ones.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
it's cool. And then the next one was the
I'm just going to leave this up now because
yeah. Was that? Oh no, it wasn't that one.
It would
And it wasn't that one.
been
Rombus.
3000.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I've got that one up.
Not in the right order.
But we've got it
Yeah.
here anyway. Just kind of hold it up.
So that was... Oh, what was the other one? There was a Starship Trooper... I think there's somebody else did a
Star Wars helmet type
yes,
thing.
Yeah. There was somebody else did a conversion of one of those. And I just loved it. And that's probably what started me on the arcade route. So I had one of these as a kid, which the original of that is a Grandstand Scramble.
Yep.
But again, it was just really nice size, really reminiscent of what I used to play, and then just thinking what would it have been if they'd have had Raspberry Pis back then. So yeah, this runs Retro Pi, quite a few games on there, like teeny tiny mini joystick and buttons, kind of cute.
Yeah. Apparently we have to project because the fan on your pinball cabinet is
Sorry.
hella loud. So deep opera voices.
Right. Yeah, so that was the first one.
So what's inside it then?
I think that's probably a Pi 2B. It's quite old, that one now.
Yeah.
But yeah, running Retro Pi. That might be a 5-inch HDMI screen, and there's a Pi-Cade board in there as well, doing all the audio on the joystick things. They were really good. I just love that they've got like the audio sound
Amplifier.
amplifier on there as
Yeah.
well. Just makes them so much easier to get everything working.
Cool.
So you laser cut a new kind
Yes.
of like panel for it.
Yeah,
to-
so that's the main modification there. Took the joystick and the buttons off from what was there before. Just laser cut a top plate and kind of put in the joystick and the new buttons.
Shall we skip to the pinball cabinet so we can look at it and then
And
turn it off?
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah. As Tanya was suggesting there.
Yeah.
So let's go to close up then.
Okay, close-up camera.
Have a look at it.
Doodle-doo,
Ta-da!
doodle-doo, doodle-doo.
Upside
Oh, it's
down.
upside down.
I think we didn't save a setting there. Can we fix this magically?
What to do is
Oh.
if you're watching on a tablet and just turn it upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're watching on a like desktop, then
Turn your head.
turn your head round. No, we'll fix it.
There we go.
Yeah.
Magic. Right, what we got here, Matt?
This is a teeny tiny pinball machine. It's running on a Latte Panda, which is kind of similar to a Raspberry Pi, but it's Windows based. Main reason for that was just being able to find the emulators, so I couldn't find any for the Raspberry Pi. So I knew of the Latte Pandas, and being a Windows developer, it didn't kind of scare me. That's what I tend to do in my day job anyway. So yeah, the Latte Panda, tried it out, worked really quite well. And there's some really cool features in terms of what made this simpler, like the dual monitors is kind of cool. So you can see there the back glass is also a second monitor, so you can have your scoreboards and different things on there. And then yeah, really nice 7-inch playing field. We've got arcade buttons on the sides for the different pinball.
Can you tilt that screen towards the camera a bit, just to show
This one?
the viewing angle? So you see from the right viewing angle, it's actually pretty sharp and
Yeah,
it looks
yeah.
good.
It's
The camera is just a bit off axis.
oh, it's got really bad. Like you have to be kind of looking right at it because it is rotated, so it's not used to being viewed from that angle. But
Is it
pretty
meant to be
cool.
in landscape rather
Yeah,
than portrait?
yeah.
Maybe yeah. So if you're like to one side of it, then it will kind of look different to
Yeah.
the other side.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So that's cool. Then we've got coin button, so credit start button, and we don't have a springy plunger at the moment. This is yet. That'll be the next hack. But at the moment, this is captive touch. So I wanted the aesthetic at least, and that does work. But for now, it's
So
just
you just-
captive. Yeah. So I just have to
You boot
touch
that
touch it
and-
with my finger.
Yeah.
And it
Can we show that
works.
happening?
Yeah.
Just look at that front button again, because you do a nice touch here that I really love. Behind that button there is a custom decal.
Yeah. So I've it's only printed on printable acetate
Okay.
through a laser printer, and then just cut it out.
Stick
These
it
are
behind the button.
all of these. Whenever you get them, you can always take the innards out and put an extra decal in. So it's just a really nice kind of touch on those, I think.
Okay.
Can you see that? Yeah.
Bit more that way so we see the plunger go. Gone. Bit further. Yep, there we go.
So
Put some coins in.
it's, it's
There
amazing.
you go. I will warn you, I make these things, but I'm not very good at them.
That's not the point, really, is it? Once you made them, it's like let other people play
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. Works quite well. See, told you, terrible.
Yeah.
Um,
Scratches that edge though.
Yeah, but there's a nice interface on in the front of that as well. So there's a thing called Pinball X, which I guess is similar to like the RetroPie for classic arcades.
Emulation station type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it lets you flick between the different tables. I've just got Attack from Mars on this one, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fantastic. But the feel of that, it really scratches that edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My father-in-law came over, and he's like a really pinball fiend. He used to love pinball in the 70s. Sat down and I couldn't get him off it. It was just like, it just brought back that kind of childlike or youth of playing on the pinball machines. He loved it.
The only downside is it's a bit light, isn't it?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
need-
So
you
it
need
does,
to
it,
stick
does,
a-
it does slide around when you're playing around. I
Need
haven't
some-
got tilting this yet. I'd
Right.
like to, but obviously with the sliding around, it's probably not
You
ideal
can
at
buy
this moment.
you can buy kind of adhesive lead weights. They're actually
Okay.
for like wheel balancing.
Yes, yeah.
So you could
That
get
might
some of
work,
them
yeah.
and like stick them inside.
Yeah. These little feet are just 3D printed at the moment, so they are smooth on the bottom. So again, maybe a bit of rubber on the bottom would help that as well.
Yeah. Put some quality blocks in there to give it quality feel.
Yeah.
Make it not move around.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. Unplug it. And then we can talk normally.
You are meant to turn it down
Oh, that's
safely, but that'll do.
Silence. Can we have a look at the kind of build of it, just
Yeah.
to kind of discuss how you actually kind of built
Well,
the cabinet
is
itself?
the thing
so,
there.
so what are the panels made of?
So I've got some
you've
extra
got
bits
the-
and pieces here. So
Crop-
this
crops
is just
as well.
Stick them under the close-up there.
yeah. So these are just laser ply. I was going to do MDF originally because I thought this would be a bit too flexible.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, when you get it all together and kind of glue it and screw it, it's pretty solid. So I was happy with that because I've got a load of that laying around. But yeah, it's just normal 3mm laser ply. This is like the back where we've got 2 speakers, a fan because the Latte Panda kind of needs cooling, which is what you heard.
Yep.
And then 4 auxiliary buttons for like volume and enter and escape type things. Yeah. So,
Fantastic.
laser ply. Decals were just printed on, again, a laser printer, so I just got some printable. This is just on paper for the test, so this was my kind of test rig.
Yep.
Just trying out placements of buttons, and things could be wrong on this. This was fine, but just testing like mechanisms for mounting screens and things like that. But yeah, the decals were just printed on a laser printer. And just got some printable vinyl off of eBay. Thankfully, it's all pretty straight lines.
The final one has laser printable, laser vinyl or
Yeah.
vinyl cut.
So thankfully, it's all pretty straight lines.
It's a nice finish on it, actually. It's good. Like the print quality is really good,
Yeah,
and it is
wasn't
like
too
a
bad.
nice. It looks almost like a proper sticker, doesn't it?
yeah. I like
Yeah.
to. I always leave like 2mm around the edge, so you give yourself a little bit of freedom.
Let's get a
Yep.
little close up.
If you can tell on there, like you can usually tell like around the edges of here, you've got 2mm, which I've just again I coloured the wood in with just a car detailing pen. On the Rombus CT, which you might look at in a minute, that was hand painted and that took ages. But this works really well, just using like a car. Even this is
Yeah.
coloured in.
Let's take a look
You
at
can
that
tell
on the
there.
close-up there.
How about the back? How did
The
you
back,
do
yeah.
the back panel?
Well, the back's quite cool. So
Is that painted or
that's the same. Still
same
done
stuff? Wow,
with the
Colour and in pen.
yeah.
that's
Right.
amazing. It looks really.
You can tell I can't
smooth.
get into the little holes, but.
It's very even.
But yeah, it came out really nice. I was impressed with that as a cheating technique of painting things in.
And you've got the barrel jack there for the power.
Yeah,
Panel mount.
that's so everything's panel mount because it just makes it easy. You can just cut circle holes then.
Yep.
But yeah, you've got your power there, a couple of buttons, the fan and 2 speakers. They're your new £3 speakers, and they're absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Like really loud,
Punchy.
Yeah.
but tiny, perfect for this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Well, you
so-
have a good cabinet as well.
yeah, I was going to say
Yeah.
they sound really good once you get them in a
Yeah.
kind of enclosure.
Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. All you need to do is put the fan on the bottom, right?
Yes.
He said
This
no,
was
you
a fan.
finished it.
This was a fan that I had lying around, so it was like I already had it.
Yep.
But you can see there the Latte Panda's actually sat under there, and you can get a
Ah.
fan for the Latte Panda, so that one might have been better. But
Yeah. But
There
hey,
you go, sucking in air and keeping it cool.
at that point you were tearing your hair out with the software.
Yes, yeah, it wasn't. As you can see, I've built a few like traditional arcades, but the pinball was just a different beast.
Yeah.
These are really nice. They're really easy. If you're working with the Raspberry Pis and using RetroPie, makes building arcade machines just really simple.
Yeah.
But this, I couldn't find. As I said at the beginning, I couldn't find an emulator for the Raspberry Pi, so I had to use the Latte Panda. But because it's Windows based, and that's all I could find. But they're not very friendly. Similar. The RetroPies are really easy. Just install and away you go, and just install some games. But you can tell these have been around for a long time, and kind of just hack upon hack to kind of get each little feature working.
And
the
not
only
big
way,
enough.
yeah, the only way you're going to know that is just trawling the forums and like finding the little details and just trying every little bit out.
Well, unless you have a massive community, you're not going to get that
No,
redeveloped.
exactly. So there is a big community, and like I must admit, I did this in a month, so I didn't really dive into the community and get to know people. So the community is definitely there. It's just as a new person, if you just want to get something working, don't expect to kind of just put things together and it works. You're going to have to do a little bit of legwork of figuring those things out. But
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen a few people that have built kind of like full size arcades.
Yeah.
Pinball
Yeah.
tables with Just with
4K
like an
TVs.
LCD TV, yeah, just the kind of
They are
panel.
amazing, like the full size ones.
And then a smaller one is
Tradition-
the back
yeah.
panel.
So
Yeah.
they do look really nice, but I ain't got room for one of those.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
my rule is if I can't put it away, I can't have it.
Yeah,
Probably costs way more than that as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So I'll have a look at that while you look at Outrun next,
Yeah.
which doesn't have a fan.
No,
And you've turned it down.
I turned it down. I can turn it up so you can hear the classic.
Outrun, you've got to have the music right.
There you go. So this one went pretty viral, and
Yeah, that was all over
Get rid of
internet.
so this was pretty cool. So this is a Raspberry Pi in there, and this is running something called Cannonball, which is a C++ port of the original Outrun game.
Yep.
But because it was C++, I could hack the code to pieces.
And your blog post shows you hacking this
Yeah,
to get registers,
yeah.
get values.
Exactly. So the whole thing with this is I wanted the original dashboard from the original toy to be functional.
Yep.
And so it is. So we've got, you can see like the rev counter goes up. It's got haptic, so you can hear the buzzing there. That's the haptic. I've got it turned really up so you can hear it. But yeah, you can feel when you're like crashing and stuff.
The
It's
speedo goes up, the
Yeah.
gear stick works, the start button works,
yeah.
the
So
LEDs show revs, and the steering wheel works.
yeah,
You've hooked up everything in there,
yeah.
and then some.
And the fuel goes down as your time's running out. So practically as many things as I could kind of fit into the. This is pretty much the original design of the decal, but
Yep.
just tried to kind of make it work with Outrun. And
Yep.
then, like I say, I hacked the game, took out like little visual elements that are now on this, and yeah, just hacked it to pieces and made it work.
I mean, inside you're not happy with kind of finesse, really, are you?
No,
But nobody can see that,
No,
so it doesn't
That's
matter.
fine.
Yeah.
If you look on the blog post, it's like it's pretty much hot glued and elastic bands.
But it works, yeah.
Yeah. So nobody cares. You can sit and play it, and it's good fun.
Yeah. It's actually really responsive on the steering wheel.
Yeah,
Feels
I
better
was
than
really
the arcade.
surprised with that. So that's just a linear potentiometer,
Mhm.
and again, that's using the Picade PCB board, and that can handle analog controls, and that's what it's doing. So it's just using the potentiometer as an analog control, and it works
Mhm.
really well.
Fantastic. Well, it's a beautiful build, and it rightly got a lot of
Yeah.
notice.
That's probably the most popular one.
Yep.
It's a mix of people that had this toy as a kid and people that love Outrun.
Yep.
It was really good.
I think the thing about your builds that impressed me is the little details. Like there's things that like most people would just kind of leave out or just kind of not bother with or not go to the effort.
Yeah.
But
No,
You know, just like
I
little-
forced myself to do. Like if there was something there originally, it needs to function again. So
Yeah.
it's hard.
Show the front as well to the close-up camera there.
The front.
Yeah, because you've got you've done your laser decals here.
Yeah.
custom decals.
Yeah. So again, these were just. I did send off for these, but I did actually end up printing these on sticker vinyl and doing it myself because the colour didn't come out too well from the.
Internet service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these are actually just laser cut and cut
So
out
they-
with carefully with scissors.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I imagine that must have been done on like a silhouette, kind of like Final Cut or two.
No, it was actually just done with scissors.
Jeez, it's impressive.
Pretty cool. But then yeah, custom decals there, and again the Sega on there.
Lovely.
For Outrun.
Yep. And have you got another one like this planned?
Yes, if I can figure it out. So
Right.
you might have seen it if you followed me on Twitter. You might have seen the Top Shot Pilot. I'll just turn that off. The Top Shot Pilot is it's a jet fighting game.
Mhm.
It's really nice. Again, really retro toy. But one of the really cool things about it is that there's a little jet inside that actually spins. So my first thing was, the easy win would be to put a screen in there and
Yep.
do Afterburner, and that would get a lot of likes. But it kind of feels like it would be disrespectful to the original engineering, which is that little spinning jet. So right now I'm trying to figure out ways of keeping the jet. So my train of thought at the moment is, I tried a couple of projection techniques because that's what the original uses,
Yep.
like projecting the game down. But now I'm on thinking. I realise magnets don't affect LCD screens. So what I want to do is lay a screen down on the surface and use magnets to hold the jet in position, and then if I can code a custom game around it, so the jet still stays in the middle and spins around, but then the game field kind of moves around. I think Phil shared a game with me called Air Smash, which is very similar in terms of the jet stays in the middle, but all the terrain moves around, which I'd really quite like to kind of figure out for that one.
I mean, that'd be good. Just making this into just the basic afterburner cabinet would be great, but deciding you're going to level up again.
Yeah. I kind of feel like I've backed myself into a corner. I've got to keep going cooler and cooler every time. But yeah, it's interesting and fun. But those are the challenges that I like. It would be easy to do an afterburner arcade, but I do respect the engineering that went into those original games. And if you ever take these things apart, it's insane what people did end up doing in the 80s. Just all the mechanical bits. I have no idea how they figured those bits out, but like I say, as a sign of respect, it's like keep what is the core features of that game and see if I can make it in today's tech. So.
Especially when it was kids that were playing with these, and they were going to take a lot of abuse. I mean, they were being played with and kind of like chopped about, and really.
I think it's that thing where of that generation, the mechanical engineering would have been possibly more familiar.
Yeah.
And electronics would have been the scary, expensive thing.
Yeah, definitely.
That nobody knew.
No.
And now it's kind of
flipped. Switched the other way. Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, that's the fun thing in making for me as well, is rediscovering those engineering techniques. Not to the same degree, but you can look at those things and figure out different techniques that you'd never even thought of before.
You look at the paper craft of Rob Ives.
Yes. love that
guy.
Perfectly
Perfectly comfortable with the mechanicals.
Yeah, they're amazing. But even in the simple papercraft, there's intricacy in that's just like, it's amazing. I don't know how he figures that stuff out.
Yeah, but we're there to rediscover it, right?
Yes,
and spread the knowledge.
Yeah,
and make it so kids today going, cams are no sweat.
Yeah,
cool. Right, shall we have a quick look at the Rombus CT?
Yeah, so this one was. Don't know how we can get to see this one. We're going to have to move.
Pass me the Amron. I'm just passing them this way, and I'm going to have them disappear. To turn them in my personal collection.
So
or this time you can steal them.
Let's try and move it this way.
I can steal them.
Yeah.
I can keep them.
Yeah. But we're going to hold competition at the end, right, for somebody to win all of them.
No.
Yeah?
So this was. So I organised a little event where I take web developers away and like learn various things called Code Cabin. And on the first year we didn't really have anything there in terms of like entertainment, like pool tables or anything. So within like a month, well, I had this idea and my wife Lucy said go ahead, and I went, well, you don't have to tell me twice. So then this was born. So if you read the blog, there is a blog post for this as well, and there's another guy in America that was kind of an inspiration for this. Like that first video is one of his, which is quite similar. But I just really loved the small aesthetic. Again, it's obviously classical kind of cocktail table, but it's just tiny. Well, it's not tiny, but in comparison to the original. But I really loved like the aesthetic and like just the double sides. So you've got like a side, the back here, and then it steps in for the little controller. Just again, little subtle details that were there on the original, but don't often make it into other people's kind of versions of them.
Yeah, I love you finish with the socket bolts here as well, because they are one of my favourite things. The kind of round-headed mushroom.
Oh yes, yeah, these
Yeah.
nice. Again, it's just that reminiscent of what they used to, I can remember seeing those on like traditional arcades and things when you're in the arcade. So it is keeping as much as possible. But yeah, this is essentially a cocktail table, and it is 2-player. So you've got again the similar technique of the button decals, but you've got the other side as well, which is your 2-player. So you can play against each other. And then I think this is the smaller screen you guys do for the Piecade.
Yep, the 8-inch screen.
Yeah, but it works really nicely.
Fantastic.
In theory, it could fit a bigger one in, but I quite like the small one.
And Donkey Kong there, just to make a point, right?
Yeah. So,
The thing is, with the small display, you've got space to put your kind of
so it's all pretty cool because
your glass of Coke or whatever on the side of it.
again, people don't need to see what it looks. It doesn't need to be neat inside.
Yeah. The laser cut files as well. The
Yeah.
layers of laser cut stuff you've got here.
Yeah, but again, this is another Picade one, but this is dual Picade, so obviously one for each side.
Yep.
And again, just made it really,
And you've got double.
really easy to work with.
Is it double layers of 6mm MDF? Is that right? Mostly.
Is it 6? Oh yeah,
Looks
it will
like
be.
6mm, yeah,
it might
yeah.
be 5 or 6, doubled up.
So the whole thing feels like it's,
Yeah, it's
really,
really-
solid feeling.
It is chunky and solid, so you're not gonna.
Yeah. Not going to break it.
No. But yeah, and then that's just a custom wood vinyl, and then this is a decal on clear acetate, so it's just layered and sandwiched together.
Yep.
Again,
remember you actually-
sufficiently retro.
You came here to do that, didn't
Yeah,
you? To print it. We had
yeah.
a big A3 printer.
Yeah, so I have got a plot cutter to cut that out, but I didn't have a big enough printer, so you guys helped out there, and I could print that on some acetate.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of covering the range there and future plans. So I guess all there is to say is thanks for coming in again and
No worries.
updating us on what you're doing
Thanks for having me.
and what the next plan is.
Yeah.
How soon?
I don't know.
When we're going to see you back here?
Yeah. Need to recoup money-wise first.
Right.
Yeah.
So your
Save
blog's
us again.
circuitbeard.co.uk.
Yes, yeah.
Um,
So
The links are in the description, so if you click on them to... Matt always does like really kind of exhaustive blog posts about these with the kind of build details.
yeah, they're not.
and then,
I wouldn't say they were step by step. It's kind of what it took to kind of get where I was.
so it's like a kind of an account of how it
yeah,
happened.
yeah. So it's I see them as more inspiration with like shots that you could probably pull details from the pictures and things. But yeah, it's not step by step, but hopefully it's detailed enough to inspire you and you know what's needed at least.
Yeah. But for the Outrun especially, you have been offered like insane money to make one for other people, haven't you?
Yeah. The only problem with those is it's based on an old kid's toy. There's only so many of those in the world. So and I really don't like destroying working toys. So I make sure that I find broken ones. I really don't like destroying
Customers as well.
Yeah.
If they've paid a lot for it, they're going to
Yeah.
say, well, it's got hot glue inside.
Yeah,
And you're
exactly.
like, well, I told
It
you.
always depends on other people's definition of quality.
Yeah. Fantastic. Right. Well, we'll see you when after Werner is ready.
Yes.
You coming back saying, yeah, this one's been a hard one, Paul.
Yeah.
I'm never
Looking
doing
a bit more
arcades
weathered.
again.
Yeah. Bits of beard torn out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And increasingly so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be good. I look forward to it.
Cool.
Cool.
Right. We'll see you soon.
Yep.
And we'll see you next week for... We might have a special Bilge Tank. Me and Tanya are pondering one kind of earlier than a week to catch up on all the Maker Faire happenings.
Awesome.
Because we just returned from our 2-week tour of kind of Maker Faire Bay Area and Maker Faire Berlin back to back, which was overly exciting. And we were a bit
Exhausting.
overstimulated and tired now. But it'll be fun. Anyway, look out for that on the YouTubes. And look out for our series of talking to various people about their first makes and their worst makes. We keep posting those. We've got a few more of those to go through with the fine and good makers that Maker Faire Bay Area.
How many are there now? 6, 7?
There's 6,
8?
7, I think we've got
Yeah.
10 or 12 that are ready to trot out. And it's always
Cool.
interesting.
Cool.
Yeah. Right. See you, folks.
Yeah. See ya.